yeah, buddy, she's humming. She is humming. Let's take a look. Woo! Buddy, it is cold down here in the low country today. It's cold for here. I see some of you people in the comments, you're up in like Minnesota or Wisconsin or wherever you're at way up north. What we got down here is probably nothing compared to what you guys get up there. I know it because I was in the Army for about 3 years, and I was stationed at Fort Drum, which is about an hour north of Syracuse, New York, about 30 miles south of the Canadian border. And I don't ever complain about the cold down here really anymore after being up there for about 3 years. So, but it's chilly. We may even get a snowflake or two that falls maybe late Friday night. Might get a snowflake or two. So, one of the cool things I love about my job, especially working with TMC, is I get to come out and test out new things and try new things and see if they work or see if they don't, and try them out and give feedback and do all those cool things with forestry stuff. And I'm a total nerd for this stuff. I heard somebody talk about logging. You know, once logging kind of gets in your blood, it just kind of never comes out. And that's kind of the same thing with forestry mulching. Once it kind of gets in your blood and you develop a love for the technology and the application of it and the industry of it and the, you know, all of that stuff, you just kind of get into it. And I've become a total nerd for this stuff. So today we are testing out something completely new. I've had it for a little while. We just take a little while to get it hooked up. And so today's finally the day. I spent all day out here yesterday. We're down here on the farm project, the farm property, not my parents' farm, but a client's farm. You guys have seen me do a ton of work out here, if you're familiar with the channel. And we got his little Tamaguchi excavator here, and we got a brand new attachment to check out and show you guys. And hopefully today is going to be really cool and a lot of fun. So let's take a look at what we got, and then we're going to go try it out and see what we can grind up. All right, so we're over here a little bit in the shadow, at least. Hopefully you guys can see that a little better. Sun's not in your face. But this is TMC Kinsella's brand new. I got the little door over here. I took it off. But this is I took this off, and I'll tell you why. But this goes like right here. It bolts in right there. I took it off. But this is the THQ 50. It says 050. We just call it THQ 50. And what that is, that's the width. The 50 is the width in centimeters. I couldn't remember if that was centimeters or millimeters. It is in centimeters. It's about 20 inches. That's your cut width right here on this mulcher. And this is different than my THI that I just hooked up on my Kubota in several ways. First of all, this is designed for your 2.5 to 4 ton excavators. That's what this thing is made for. It can go down as low as 2.5, and we go up to about 4 tons. And that's what this is made for. So we're running it on a Takeuchi TB35 235-2, and this thing puts out, I think, about right at 16 gallons a minute of flow. And so if you guys just saw on the dyno, it's really cold out this morning. I did try to let the oil warm up in it a little bit. I have not run it in any wood, but I spun the head up for about 5 minutes, try to let the hydraulic oil come up to temperature a little bit. But yesterday when we were out here getting this thing set up and hooked up, getting the hoses run and everything, I had her dynoed it right at 2,900 RPM. So she is kicking it. And it came with a smaller motor in it, and I had to swap the motors too. So this one, unlike the THI, where it has a belt right here, so the motor sits up here and has a belt and pulley system, this one has a gear motor that plugs directly into the drum, very similar to how my Prenoth is designed. So you just have your gear motor here, and all you got, no case drain, so you just got a gear motor. All you have is your pressure and return. So this thing is literally plug it in and go to work. And so what we do, based on the size of your machine and the flow specs of your machine, we give you a direct drive motor. We'll give you a certain size direct drive motor based on your flow spec of your machine. So for this one, it took a 16cc motor. I think it had like a 12cc in it before, so I had to swap that out. I got that in the truck. So we swapped the motor, ran the hoses and everything, and I had this mount made, Rut Manufacturing. Big thanks to Rut Manufacturing for making my mount. They did a great job with that. Great people up there, been doing some mounts for me. And so yeah, this thing is pretty awesome. I put the new hardened steel teeth on it yesterday as well, and I'm really excited to see what this thing will do. We only have a limited supply of these hardened steel teeth, but we're air freighting over about 4,000 of them come March. So we're going to have a whole bunch of them in stock and supply here very, very, very shortly. So very cool little mulcher, very light. This thing only weighs, and this doesn't include this top mount, 418 pounds, if you guys can see that. This thing only weighs 418 pounds. We have, TMC's got two sizes for this. So this is the 50. We also have a 75, which is the same width as my THI 75. So this is a 20-inch cutting width, and then we also can go to a 30-inch cutting width. Now, honestly, for these 3.5 tons, I think the 30-inch might be a little bit better, but this is the one we got for testing. So this one will work fine too. If you want to go with a little smaller head on this size machine, it really doesn't matter too much. But the 3.5 or a 4-ton machine could handle the 30-inch one, no problem. This size one at the 20-inch cut would probably be better for your 2.5 and 3-ton size machines. But yeah, it only weighs a little bit more. The 30-inch one only weighs just a little bit more than this one. So I'm really excited to try this thing out. I took the front door off just because when I'm sitting in the cab, I want to see how these teeth eat and everything. Now I know when these teeth come around, they're going to throw stuff everywhere out this front without this deflection door in the front, but that's okay. I need to be able to see the teeth and see what they do and all that stuff. So when I'm done, I'll put the door back on. But you don't have to run it with the door either. You know, that's why it's removable right here. But yeah, got counter cutters on the inside as well. So we have these teeth in here that when you suck up the material when you're processing it, this stuff helps break everything up. Got a nice big liner in here, open chamber, suck all that stuff up in there and process it. So this is basically the excavator version kind of the mini skid one. For your landscapers, you know, this is not something you're going to go, let me set the expectation here. This is not something you're going to go mulch an acre of, you know, 8 or 10-inch trees with. This is not what this is for. But this is for your landscaper guys who already have a 3.5-ton size machine, and they are trying to get into the land, you know, maybe step their foot a little bit into the forestry mulching industry here a little bit. And you can get one of these at, you know, they're not super expensive compared to buying a whole big setup with a 5 or 6 ton machine, you know, and all of that, or a big skid steer. And the other thing about this is helps you get into tighter areas, and it's a lot more versatile, you know, ponds, ditches, small backyards, embankments, hard to reach areas, like doing little embankments and stuff like this, or around small ponds and ditches. Perfect for something like this on a 3.5-ton machine. So if you've got like a little farm machine, so this is the owner's machine. This is a little farm out here. This would be perfect, you know, if he needs to go keep up his ponds or his ditches or whatever. This is perfect for that kind of stuff. For your small landscaping applications, this is a perfect head for that. And it spins, I mean, 2,900 RPM. That's kicking it. So this thing's got some speed and some flow and some power, and I'm excited to go test it out. So I've got free reign from the owner to use this thing on any gum tree out here. He hates the gum trees. I can't touch the pine trees, but any of the gum trees I see, they are fair game. And so gum trees are a little harder than pines anyway, so we're really gonna get to test this thing out and see what it can do. So I'm excited. Let's hop in the machine. We're gonna go down here towards the other end of the ditch and grind some stuff up. We'll find something. All right, this looks perfect right here. So this is all just a bunch of gum trees and stuff in here. I mulched this like 3 or 4 years ago with the Mini, came through here. These gum trees were about 2 or 3 times this size, and so you can see they've started to grow back in here. And I'm gonna just mow this down right through here. This is perfect. Like, this is like an overgrown backyard area or a small food plot, hunting property, something like that, or you had stuff like this growing on the bank of a ditch or a pond. I think this kind of small stuff right here is right up this mulcher's alley when it comes to doing this stuff. We'll get into, so there's some bigger gum trees back there along the edge. We'll get into some of those back there as well. I'll work my way into this and we'll chew some of this stuff up, clean it up, and yeah, we'll see what she'll do. right, guys, just want to do a quick plug in here. We've had a little bit of time running the mulcher head, and I am here with Frank with TMC Kinsella USA, and Frank is the head of dealer sales here in the United States. And I just want to introduce him. You guys saw him on another video I did with the TLI on the little mini skid head, where we were out testing that out, and we had a lot of fun with that. So me and Frank have been riding around doing some stuff lately, testing some heads and doing some stuff. So just want to introduce Frank again and let you guys know that if you guys are outside the CCE network area, you can call Frank. I'll put his number in the description below. Also, I'll put a plug in right here on the video, and you can call him, and he can either get you set up through a dealer wherever you're located at, or we can get you a head directly, basically. So
yeah, we've been out here with Davin, and we've been actually testing out a new unit designed for the 2 to 4 ton excavators, the mini excavators really. And it's been very beneficial, and it's showing very good promise as far as productivity. It's a good piece of equipment. We'd love to work with you guys on a dealer network standpoint. Let me know how to help you, and we'll go from there.
So that's what we got. I'm having a blast running this thing so far. I've been super impressed with it. I've mulched a couple of 4, 5, 6 inch trees with it without too much problem. And yeah, so we're gonna get back to it and have a little more fun grinding some stuff up, and we'll check this thing out at the end of the video. So I've made my way kind of back here along this wood line, and I got the tripod sitting right there. So and you can see we've got some little bit bigger gum trees right here, and we're going to test this thing out on some of these bigger ones. And that one's probably right there. That's probably somewhere between 3 and 4 inches at the bottom, I'd say, somewhere around in that ballpark. So looks like it's a cluster. So what'll happen with these gum trees is if you have a bigger tree and then you cut it, it'll sprout several more out of them. These gum trees are like weeds that just end up growing into trees is what they are. So let's mow a few of them down. up here. I'm gonna let this thing, I'm gonna let that thing get back up to full RPM. I'm gonna top this. I'm gonna take these little ones right here out. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, right on the GoPro. Oh, crap. Well, that didn't work out too well for the GoPro, for the tripod. Huh? not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed with this thing. That was a decent sized gum tree. I mean, at the base, I mean, that's my hand. That's over 6 inches right there. From there to there, that's easily 8 inches. I would say 7, 8 inches. So, I mean, that's a decent, I mean, that's my foot. I'm a size 10. So yeah, maybe 8 inches. There's about 2 on the end of my foot. And that didn't have much problem with that. So yeah, this will work. This thing works great for its size and this size machine. I mean, if you can grind a 6-inch tree, I mean, most of what I grind with the Kubota, you know, with my U55, which is so this is a 8,000 pound machine. Mine's about a 12,000 pound machine. 90% of what I do is 6 inches and smaller. So if you can knock out a 6-inch tree, I mean, you can do it. And I didn't take a whole lot longer than what my my Kubota would have done it in. And so this one's running 16 gallons a minute. I don't know what the pressure is, but it's running 16 gallons a minute. My Kubota runs 20, which is kind of on the low end of the 6-ton machines. Most of the 6-tons run in the 23, 24 range. But yeah, she ate that gum tree up, man. If she'll eat that gum tree like that, she'll definitely eat a pine. So let's chew up a few more of these bigger gums. And yeah, that was fun. I really enjoyed that. A lot funner than knocking down these little ones, but it went through the little ones just fine. I figured it would. But yeah, that was awesome. Let's chew up some more stuff. All right, we chewed that up really good. That was a lot of fun. So we were mulching down these bigger gums, you know, like these size gums, without much problem at all. I left this little stump up right here so you guys could see. I mean, that's my hand, you know, and we had no problem mulching gum trees of that size with that mulcher head. So, you know, gum trees like this, that, no problem. There's nothing standing here really that mulcher couldn't take down. Well, maybe that big gum right there, that's a pretty big one right there. Even my head would have maybe a little bit of a chore with that one. But the rest of these little ones in here, this would be no problem. No problem for that head. Not a problem. So very, very impressed with that thing. Let's go back up to I got the machine right over there. We'll go take a look at it. Oh yeah, we wore some paint off her today, but ran this thing for about 2 hours. Had a lot of fun running it. I really did. Again, the new teeth that we got coming in here soon, they worked great. Really ripped through those gum trees without much problem at all. 2,900 RPM, and this thing recovers very quick, and it's got a lot of torque too. I was really happy with the amount of torque that it had. It really didn't stall out that bad at all, except maybe down there at the very bottom where the teeth would catch on a stump, it would. But you know, that happens with some of these excavators. I mean, even my other one will do that too. So that didn't really shock me. But when you're grinding a tree down, even 3-4 inches, it just goes. It just eats. These little direct drive motors we got in these things are really, really powerful, and they send a lot of torque and power and RPM to these drums here. The other thing that I was really, really happy about, especially compared to the brush cutter that I've been running on this head, 418 pounds. Well, with this up here, it's probably closer to about 450 pounds total. I can extend that arm all the way out to the side when the machine's over to the side like that, and it will not tip this machine. With that brush cutter is a lot heavier than that mulcher, and it will tip this machine over if you're not careful. This mulcher will not do that. The machine is much more balanced with that mulcher on it compared to the brush cutter, and you got a lot better control of the debris field. I didn't have anything come back and hit the windshield or even come back at the machine. Everything either went out the back or out the front. So, and I could have, if I had the door on the front too, some of the stuff coming out the front would have been deflected down, but I wanted to keep it off just so I could kind of keep an eye on the drum and see how it was eating and stuff like that. Just give me a little better visibility. But I'll probably put it back on. But yeah, I really like this head. If I had first gotten into mulching, when I first got one, because I had a little 3.5 John Deere when I first got into business. They didn't have heads like this back then. That was back in like 2018 or whatever. Yeah, 18, 19. They didn't have these little heads out back then. At least I couldn't find one that would go on a little 3.5 ton. If I hadn't had one of these out back then, I would have slapped one on that John Deere in a heartbeat. I'd have it was an open cab. I would have put a plexiglass windshield on the front of it, and I would have put one of these bad boys, and I'd have been in business mulching with that little bad boy. But you know, they didn't have them out. So if this is a great entry point mulcher, if you're like already a landscaper, you know, and a lot of landscapers have these little 2.5 and 3.5, 4 ton size excavators for doing stuff, and you're kind of thinking about dipping your toe into the water when it comes to mulching, this is a great entry level head to kind of see if that's where you want to take your business. And that thing works. It works great. I really, really do like it. And I'm not one to BS. Like, if something doesn't work, I'll be like, yeah, this doesn't work. But I mean, you guys saw it. I was eating 3-4 inch trees, 5-inch trees, no problem with this head. No problem. And you know, that'll help you kind of get your foot in the door when it comes to mulching, and then you can step up to a bigger machine later down the road as your business grows. But yeah, that's awesome. That little thing right there kicked some butt, man. It really did. So this is the smaller one. This is the 20-inch cut. We also got, like I said, got the 30-inch cut as well. I think this machine would handle either one of them that size, but this little 20-incher will eat, son. I love it. So I'm gonna keep this thing on this machine right now, and hopefully the owner will come down here and play around with it a little bit and tell me what he thinks. So had a lot of fun today running that. So stay tuned. We got a lot more stuff coming. A lot more cool things coming down the pike when it comes to mulching and trying some new stuff out and checking it out. So stay tuned, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.